Data analytics has the highest ROI when it comes to how much time you spend learning, plus how little you spend when it comes to the average salary you get after you complete the coursework. We are talking entry-level salaries starting anywhere from $60,000 to $80,000 a year. And that number only goes up from there as you gain experience. So I'm starting a bootcamp series for you guys to help you break into data analytics. We will be covering everything from writing your first SQL query to building a dashboard, and every important aspect which comes in between throughout this process. And that would include creating tables in the database, selecting data from them, learning many types of joins and filter criteria, also creating your very first Tableau and Power BI dashboard, learning a lot of terminology along the way, which you will often hear in the data analytics field. And yes, you will also be doing a capstone project at the end so that you have something real to put on your portfolio. But first, let me tell you a few things. In this bootcamp, we will be using MySQL database, Tableau, Power BI, and Excel as a toolkit. Now I know some of you might be thinking that, do I have to pay for all these tools? The good news is MySQL is completely free. Tableau has a free public version, which is more than enough to get you started. And Excel you most likely already have. So cost is really not an excuse here. Also, you do not need any prior experience to follow along. If you have never written a single line of code in your life, that is completely fine. This course is designed with absolute beginners in mind, and we will be going step by step through everything. And I know the next question a lot of you might have is, what about math? Do I need to be good at math in order to become a data analyst? And the honest answer is no. You are not going to be sitting there doing calculus or solving complex equations. The math that actually comes in day-to-day data analytics is mostly percentages, averages, growth rates, and basic statistics like understanding what mean, median, and modes are. And that's it. If you passed high school math, you have everything you need. Now, as you grow in your career and start moving toward data science or machine learning, that is where heavier maths comes in. But for data analytics at the level we are covering in this bootcamp, you are more than covered. But first, let's set the stage when it comes to what data analysts do so you have a better idea while going through this free course. Typical day in data analyst's life revolves around a bunch of ad hoc reporting and dashboard building based on stakeholders' requirements. And honestly, a big chunk of that time is spent in cleaning data, which is not a glamorous part, but it is something every analyst does, so we will cover that too. So let's say Sammy is a sales manager and she recently launched a sales campaign, and she is curious to know how many visitors came to her website and how many of them actually bought something from her store. Now, as a data analyst, you will have to find the appropriate tables which have that information and create a query to answer those business questions. She may also ask you to create a dashboard with the similar information so that she doesn't have to come to you again and again. But the job of data analyst doesn't stop here. Almost every time you create a dashboard, you have to present it to the audience. And this is where a lot of people drop the ball. You can have the most beautiful dashboard in the world, but if you cannot explain what it means and why it matters, it loses its value completely. This is where the art of data storytelling comes into picture. And trust me, a lot of psychology goes into it. Because hey, who doesn't want to impress with what they have built? Now, one more thing before we dive in. A lot of you are going to hit a wall at some point during this course, and that is completely normal. But I would suggest to not quit. The people who make it into data analytics are not necessarily the smartest ones. They are the ones who kept going when it got confusing. So bookmark this series and follow along your own pace. Let's get to work.